Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Nicole, and I like to do these weekly videos here to help you move through your ascension process. And what exactly is the ascension process? Well, the ascension process is part of becoming our highest self in human form. And what does that mean? Well, essentially, remember that we are all soul beings having a human experience. And in our soul form, we are non-tangible, we are energy. And in that state, we are closer to God than ever. But as we come and we incarnate here upon this planet, we enter a physical vessel, our body. And when we are in that physical vessel, when we are in our body, we are able to experience the world through a lens of separation, where we no longer experience life as the all-seeing, but we experience life on a subjective, individual basis. And why do we do this? And why do we choose to come here? We come here because we come to learn. How can one really know love unless they experience it for themselves? How can one really know anger unless they experience it for themselves? How can one really experience growth unless they experience it for themselves? And so the point of coming here is to expand our consciousness and to expand our soul. But we are living at a time where the veil between the non-tangible world, the physical world, and the non-tangible world, the spiritual realm, are becoming closer and closer. We are being brought together and we are being asked to reconnect with who we truly are. We are being asked to remember the power that resides within us and to remember who we are in our spirit form and to embody that higher self in this physical body. So the energies that are taking place at this moment can be very hectic and can be very overwhelming. So my intention with these videos, oh, I'm sorry, the rain has just started and I hope you can hear me. So my intention here is really to help you better navigate these energies and to give you downloads and to give you information from the non-tangible realm that will help you on this journey. So if you are here on this video, then I have to let you know that you are a person of extremely high frequency and high vibration. And you came here with a very important mission. And your mission is to help humanity elevate and to help this earth reach into her ascension process. And the thing is, none of us really know what this looks like, and none of us really knows where it is going. But when I tune into the energies, what I see that is coming is something of beauty. It is something so positive, but remember, it is always darkest before the dawn. And everything that we are seeing taking place in the world around us at this time is the shadow aspect of humanity coming out. And right now it is very important that we all be practicing our shadow work. And what is shadow work? Shadow work is actively going inwards and looking to see where we are part of the problem. It is so easy for us to externalize things and say that things in our external world are what are causing the problems that we are experiencing, but 99.9% of the time it is what is happening inside of us. And when we start to realize that our thoughts, our emotions are what drive our actions and behaviors, and so once we start nurturing our minds and nurturing our emotions and nurturing our bodies, then we will start to experience life through a very different lens. So these these moments are not always easy, but just trust. And this is why we are being asked to pledge allegiance to the light, because when we have trust and when we have faith that what is coming is for our highest vibration and for our highest potential, and for us to evolve and reach a state of peace and balance and justice and love once again in humanity, then we realize the only reason that we are not experiencing these things right now is because not every single human being on this planet feels this way inside. We have been programmed to live in a world where there is always turmoil and chaos, and that starts inside of us because we are programmed to believe that we are not good enough and that we don't have what it takes, and that we always must look outside of ourselves for the answers that we seek when all of these answers are within. So this journey of ascension is a process of remembering that the oracle resides inside of you, and to stop giving your power to things outside, but to keep filling yourself with the power that you hold. So, the first card that we have, Akashic Records, clearing old stories, releasing past lives, freedom. Yes, beautiful souls. The only way, and the song that's coming to mind is Bob Marley, when he says, release yourselves from mental slavery. Yes, because the first prison, beautiful souls, is our mind, and the endless thoughts that go off in our mind and the endless internal self-dialogue that goes on that brings us down is also connected to past lives. So all of these stories that we tell ourselves that lead us to look at the world through a certain lens, these stories are being undone. But remember that there is, with every outcome, there is a cause. There is always a reason for everything that is happening, but we have to look inside. We always look outside and we ask, why is the world doing this to me? Well, the world is doing this to you because you need to learn a lesson. But are you open to receive the opportunity for learning, or will you continue to put the blame outside and say that everyone else is the problem, rather than you needing to change certain things internally? So yes, what old stories are you clearing out? What past lives are you releasing, sorry? What is not allowing you to experience freedom? Because it is all the things that we are spoken to, all the things that we were told, especially in childhood. If somebody says you are like this and you are like that, we take it to heart because we are programmed to literally believe what everyone around us says, except for what we tell ourselves. So where can you start to open yourself to freedom? By stopping to need external validation from those all around you, when the only validation that you really need is from yourself. As long as you like yourself, as long as you love yourself, as long as you feel comfortable inside of your body and your vessel, then it really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, because at the end of the day, we are born alone and we will die alone. And this does not make you selfish to think this way. It means this is just the reality. These are just the facts. But we have been exposed to some kind of magical spells that don't allow us to see through the illusions of what we are told. We are literally told to believe everything outside of ourselves and not to believe anything that goes on within. So this is part of the process of changing where you receive your information. It is a time to go inwards and to stop putting our belief and our trust in the outside system, and especially not now, when it is very difficult for us to really believe what is the truth, when we are being exposed to so much nonsense and so much bullshit that really isn't true. So the reason that we are feeling turmoil and chaos inside of us is because we keep allowing the turmoil and the chaos of the outside world to come into our inside vessel. So start to pay attention on how your thoughts are limiting you from feeling free. The next card we have is Merkaba activation. Yes, transcendence, ascension. You are rising up. Yes, beautiful souls. The reason that you feel uncomfortable is because these past aspects of you are being released. Your Merkaba is being activated. And even when you look at the skeleton body, we are made up of a triangle going downwards and a triangle going. So there's the triangle like this with the top, and then there's the triangle going downwards with the sort of this way going down, with the central point meeting at the heart. And so when we're able to get our Merkaba, we need the top the top triangle to be spinning in one direction and the other to be spinning in the lower direction, and to feel that energy emanating from the heart. And we allow that energy to emanate out from our heart and engulf all of our being in that energy, then you will start to experience life from a new energetic frequency. And it's kind of like when you're on a radio station, you might be on one radio station and the song is rubbish, so you tune into another radio station and the song is great, and so you start feeling the vibes and you start feeling the grooves and you want to dance and you want to move your body and you're feeling great. And that's essentially the same thing. If you are in a low vibrational frequency, then you are experiencing the not so great music. But once you start to activate your Merkaba and you start to feel and emanate energy from your heart as opposed to your mind, then you will start to tune into that awesome song, that song that makes you, that song that brings you up, that song that rises you up, that song that makes you feel awesome. And once you allow yourself to move through this process of continuing to rise up, you will start to know yourself at a different frequency. You will start to tap into different gifts and different abilities that you hold inside of you. And the only way that you can know what you are capable of is if you go inside. Only you can know what you're capable of by trying. So you are capable of so many incredible things, but you are not aware of this because of fear of trying, because people outside of you, and this is what happens, these woundings go back to childhood. And this is why the false matrix system is basically all about tricking us when we are children, because the programming starts very early. And it starts from, when, you might have said that you wanted to be Superman when you were a child, and your parents was like, no, you can't be Superman, that's not possible. So this already kills your potential for imagination, your potential for creativity. And right now we are being asked to tap into our imagination and tap into our creativity, which sits within our heart, to start envisioning the version of us that we wish to be, because this is the process of manifestation. Rather than manifesting things outside of us, which is not possible unless you're a master magician, where you have to believe with every single fiber of your being that it is possible for you to do that. And only when you believe with every single fiber of your being that you are capable of doing these things, will you do these things. But this is why the process of manifestation is clearing out all the limiting beliefs, all the beliefs that are not allowing you to fully believe that you are capable of that thing. So you have to manifest becoming the version of you that you need to be in order to have those things that you desire, or be those things that you wish to be. So yes, beautiful souls, continue to rise up. Wow. Next card, Venusian Galactic Council. Star beings, answer the call. Time to shine. Look at all that light, beautiful souls. Yes, when you allow your Merkaba body to activate, look at the light that starts to flow out of your heart. And this light is so bright that it is blinding. And this light is so bright because this is the version of you when you are a star being. Because yes, there is the human personality, there is what is connected to this body, but what is activating this body is not the body itself, it is the soul. Because when we die, what leaves is our soul, and the soul is what is animating this body. It's almost like the soul is the gasoline that you put into the car. If you don't have gas in your car, then your car is going nowhere. So if you don't have a soul inside your body is going nowhere. But so you are being asked to shine the light of your star being out into the world, because it is when you start to bring light into the world. The point of us being here is to bring light into the darkness. And we have been living in a world that has been so dark. And if you just tune into the world around us, and the thing is, we have become so desensitized to all the things that are happening around us. The fact that we have been going through endless amounts of war in the Middle East for how long, and people are, dying in the millions, and yet nobody is talking about that. And we're just kind of like, oh, well, that's just the way it is. Would you not agree to say that we are living in a world of darkness? That we are living in a world where we can just pass people on the street when they're dying, and all they need is a little bit of money to at least get some water. And those of us who have, we turn away and we say, it's not my responsibility. But it is our responsibility. Those of us who have, we must help the have-nots. That is our duty. That is part of our mission. And if we are not being of service to others when we have the ability to be of service, then beautiful souls, I am sorry to tell you that you have not pledged your allegiance to the light, and that you are still pledging allegiance to the darkness. And the thing is, because we have normalized the darkness so much, it is so easy for us to turn away and pretend that we have pledged allegiance to the light when we are in fact an agent of the darkness. But because we lie ourselves, remember the stories that we tell ourselves, because we continue to tell ourselves, oh yeah, I'm a good person. But remember, the things we tell ourselves, it is our actions that prove who we are. So what actions are you taking, and are your actions aligned with the story that you are telling yourself and telling others? Because now is the time to shine. Now is time for you to shine so bright. And the thing is, you have been told, beautiful soul, you have been told so many times that it is not safe for you to shine your light, because you questioned and you asked and you went against the system and you didn't fit in and you never fit in, and people couldn't understand you because, well, your light was too bright. But because they were operating from a place of darkness, you know, they thought that it was okay to take your light. Because remember, those who operate from the darkness, they are no longer connected to the light. So there is nothing powering them up. There is no soul inside their body. There is no gas inside their vehicle. So they need your gas. They need your light to animate their vehicle and to move their car. So pay attention, because the more you shine your light and the more you protect your light and the more you stay far away from those agents of darkness, the more you will continue to ascend. Because you are the breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. Yes, beautiful souls, the divine, the cosmic, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, has called upon you to do his will. Because this is the power of being here in a physical vessel. We have the ability to take action on this physical world. We can continue to ask God, we can continue to ask the angels, we can continue to ask the star beings for help. But the only way that we will be able to receive that help on this physical plane is by us being the ones who take the action. So God, the universe, has literally called upon you personally to act upon his will. But if you are busy trying to micromanage the universe to your own personal needs rather than that of the great creator, then beautiful souls, you are not in alignment with your soul's divine mission. You are not in alignment with the will of God, and you are directly going against the will of God if you are not taking the actions that he is pushing you to take. And this is part of the shadow aspect, beautiful souls. When we have fear to take action on the will of God, this is because the shadow aspects of us, all of the times that we abdicated our throne and we allowed something else because we wanted to turn a blind eye and pretend that something wasn't happening, because we didn't have the ability to deal with it. We didn't have the ability to deal with the emotions. We didn't have the ability to deal with the discomfort or to deal with the trauma. And this is the problem. We all want to not feel discomfort, but discomfort is necessary, because when we experience discomfort, this is our body, our mind, our emotions, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, telling us this is not where we are supposed to be. It is time to move. But because we grab for something to avoid feeling that discomfort, we try and numb ourselves so that we don't have to feel it, as opposed to taking action when we are being told something isn't right. You need to do something and get out of where you are. We turn a blind eye and we say, no, that's uncomfortable. I don't want to see that part of myself. It is important to start looking inwards. Be the courageous peony. You are multifaceted. You have a unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Yes, let the good parts of you be seen, but let the dark parts of yourself be seen by you. You are multifaceted, yes, and this is the part of this world. We each have a good side and we each have a dark side. And the reason for being here is that we all have the free will to choose which side that we are going to go on. Are we going to go through the path of the darkness, or will we go on the path of the light? And this is the thing, is that every single action that we take at any momentous time is either pledging allegiance to the path of the light or to the path of the dark. So it is time that you go inwards and you start asking yourself with every single action, especially those autopilot actions that we don't even realize that we're doing. Start questioning, is this pledging allegiance to the darkness or this pledging allegiance to the light? Because there is no more being on the fence. It is time that you let yourself be seen, both the shadow and the light. It is time that you start checking in with yourself and being honest about all the facets of yourself. And the thing is, beautiful souls, we are all there. Even me, I'm not perfect. You know, there are times where I find myself biting people's head off, or getting irritated, or not having patience, or wanting to throw a tantrum. This is part of the journey, beautiful souls, and it is okay. The key is to honor and nurture yourselves as these emotions come up, rather than going into your mind and now allowing that negative self dialogue to start hating on you and start putting yourself down. Allow yourself to feel and know that this too shall pass, because once the emotional feeling passes, the energetic frequency that is connected to that emotion, it moves through you and eventually moves out of yourself. So let yourself be seen, both the shadow and the light, because we are multifaceted, and we have to see both sides of our face. Star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Yes, beautiful souls, you are being activated at this time. See there how she is lying under the stars, and that the light of the stars is activating her DNA. Beautiful souls, what we are experiencing at this time is that we are literally being activated through our DNA. We are receiving light codes. We are at a time in the world where the cosmic energies that are coming through are activating parts of our DNA that have been dormant. They are activating parts of our soul being that could not exist while the world was still in such a low vibrational frequency. And coming back to this, the Superman analogy, and that Superman, his powers are distorted when he is exposed to kryptonite. Well, essentially, the vibrational frequencies of the earth up until this time have been kryptonite, which is why we are all supermen and superwomen that have been exposed to kryptonite, and as a result of being exposed to that kryptonite, our abilities haven't been able to manifest. And so the more we are getting away from these low vibrational frequencies, the more we are getting away from the kryptonite, and the more our superpowers are literally being activated. But this is why you also have to make sure that you are distancing yourself from the kryptonite, from the low vibrational frequencies, which are keeping you in low vibration and are not allowing you to activate. Open yourself to receive these crystal grid transmissions. And the best way for you to do that is to clear out those past stories, is to clear out those past lives, is to clear out the low vibrational frequencies of the shadow aspects of who you are, so you can continue to elevate and activate. Baby steps. It will take baby steps for you to take action. Action is needed. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. Yes, beautiful souls, what is happening at this time is that we are being asked to take action on the information that we are receiving from the non-physical realm. This is why meditation is extremely important at this time, is to just be with all the chaos energy that is being thrown at us. And we can see this with everything that is happening in the world outside of us. When you look, I don't watch the news, because there is no point watching the news when we're told about all these horrible things that are happening in the world, and I can't do anything about it. So why am I going to go and watch the news and pay attention? And a lot of what is being told on the news is a narrative that is running to keep us in fear. So start paying attention to all the great things that are happening around you, and to the things where you do have control, and the things where you can take action. And where you can take action is inside of yourself. If there is something going on inside of you that you don't like, change it. It's just that simple, because remember, beautiful souls, the only constant in our world is change. The only thing that we can be sure is going to happen throughout our life is change, just like how our human body is changing at every moment. Our cells are moving, our our blood is moving, our heart is pumping. We are not stagnant. We are constantly in action. But this is why when we tune into what is happening, the action that is happening inside of us rather than the action that is happening outside of us, that we have no idea of knowing what is true, at least when we tune into ourselves, we know what is true. So now we're at a point in time where we are being asked to strengthen our intuition and to trust, because that internal voice inside of us that is leading us will never lead us astray. So start to, the best search engine is inside of you. You know more than ever what you need for you. You know more than anyone what works best for you. The next card we have a second house of resources. Yes, beautiful souls. What is happening at this time is that you are activating your second house of resources. You are being, we have been told to believe, or we have been led to believe, that the only resources that we really have are financial. But no, beautiful souls, your body is a resource. And this comes back to the Akashic Records card that we had that came out first, because the resources, they live inside of you. Knowledge is power, and all of the knowledge of the universe resides inside of you, because it is encoded in our DNA, the information of the universe, the information. Because remember, your your soul is what is giving life to this body, but your DNA is encoded to you specifically and to your soul. But our soul is directly connected to God and to the divine supreme creator of this world and everything around us. So encoded in our DNA is literally the information of God, the information of the universe. So when you learn to go inwards instead of always projecting yourself outwards, you will start to realize that you have endless amounts of resources that reside inside of you. It is just that you have not yet learned how to access this information and these resources. The next card we have is the Ascendant, Entrance, and the numerology here is 8. And really what comes to me here is that you are entering, the new version of you is entering into this world. And the 8 is all about infinity. The 8 is about power. The 8 is about abundance. But remember, abundance is a state of being. Abundance is the feeling, that is the state of being that you feel inside of yourself when you know that you will always be able to receive whatever it is that you need, because it is a belief. It is kind of like tuning into the frequency, tuning into the radio station, where the music that is playing is the music that allows you to know that you have everything that you need inside of you. Because when you realize that you have the ability to manipulate the energy around your life, then you will start to manipulate and be able to actively create the life it is that you desire. But remember, you have to become the version of you in order for that life to become manifest. Because if not every single fiber of your being is believing that you can have that life, it's because you have not yet become the version of you that will have that life. So this is the process of entering the new version of you. The next card we have is the third house of communication. Yes, the best way for you to fully anchor in the version of you that you are is to speak it and communicate it. Because when you go around telling, if you want to, I don't know, if you want to believe that you're a professional, if you want to be a professional football player, well, the first way that you can, start doing this is by communicating that you are a football player, right? And so it's not only communicating with your mouth and with your words and saying I'm a professional football player, but it is taking the action that communicates, and this is how other people are going to start believing that you are a professional football player. It's because you are acting like a professional football player. So if you're wanting to be a professional football player, but all you're doing is sitting on the couch and, watching TV and eating junk food, or going to the club and drinking alcohol and, doing all of these things that are not aligned with you being a professional football player, then no one is ever going to believe that you are a football player, least about yourself. So we have to take action. Our action has to be aligned with what it is that we desire. So if we desire to be a multimillionaire, then we have to start acting like a multimillionaire. And so a multimillionaire, well, he's somebody who works hard. He puts in the time and effort, or she puts in the time and effort to do what is necessary in order to generate those multiple millions. So again, if you're sitting on your couch watching TV, doing nothing and hoping that things are just suddenly, millions are just going to suddenly fall into your lap, well, that's just not going to happen. And the thing is, yes, we have to take action because we live in the physical world. And the numerology here is the 5, and the 5 is all about change. So you are being inspired to change and to start taking the action that communicates both to yourself, the universe, and the people around you that you are who you say you are. Because if you say that you're a good person, but when you are given opportunities to show that you are a good person, but you turn a blind eye and you say, nope, I'm just going to pretend that's not happening, then are you really a good person? Or are you just telling yourself that you're a good person? But remember, what you tell yourself is not what God sees, because God sees everything, my friends. God sees everything. Even when you're alone and you think that nobody is watching, that is when God is seeing the real you. So if your actions are not aligned with being on the side of the light, then my friends, I'm sorry to tell you that you are still an agent of the darkness. Face your adversities. Yes, it is uncomfortable to admit. And yes, beautiful souls, there were moments where I was saying that I was a good person, but then when I would look at some of the actions that I was doing, then I was saying, oh, well, I could see how I could possibly be a better person, right? Because we have to set the bar high for ourselves, because God has the highest expectations for us, because we are a part of Him. We are an image of God. We are a reflection of God in the physical. So when we are not willing to look at the parts of ourselves that are not aligned with the highest version of ourselves, then it can be uncomfortable. But this is part of doing shadow work. This is part of releasing those past wounds, because we only do these things because we were wounded, and we were wounded by this matrix system that beats us down continuously and tells us that we're not good enough. But I am here to tell you, beautiful souls, that you are good enough. And the more that you continue to believe for yourself and love yourself the way God loves you, then you will be able to face any adversity. And know that you are never alone. You are always protected as long as you ask. Remember, God said, ask and you shall receive. So yes, ask for help, ask for guidance, ask for support in this process, because it isn't always easy. It can be uncomfortable. But remember, when you go inwards into your heart, you will always have everything that you need. Reassess. Yes, you are being asked to reassess. Reassess what isn't working in your life. Reassess what needs to go. Reassess what needs to change. Reassess who needs to leave. Reassess who needs to come in. Reassess where you are not letting yourself be in your heart, but being controlled by the slavery of your mind. Reassess where you are being indoctrinated into this false matrix system, which has us worshipping the darkness as opposed to worshipping the light in each and every one of us. Let go and enjoy. Yes, let go of all the pain. Let go of all the things that you are holding onto, and forgive. Forgive yourself, and realize that now is an opportunity for you to do things differently. Now is an opportunity for you to change your ways and to come back to the light of your heart. Speak up. Yes, if you see wrong being done, speak up. Because if you see wrong being done and you pretend that it is not happening, then beautiful souls, you are part of the problem. And this is the problem. We all see bad being done. And because it isn't being done to us directly, we turn a blind eye and we ignore no more. Because remember, we are all agents of the light. And we came here to speak up. We came here to speak up and let God know we do not agree with what is being done. We do not agree with with all these negative things that are plaguing our society. If we say no and we refuse to be a bystander or to partake in the evil that is being done, then we will be rewarded. Choose friends wisely. Yes, beautiful souls. It is interesting. And ever since Facebook came onto the scene and, we could add friends, the meaning of friends is being used so loosely. What does friend mean to you? What is important? What are the important aspects that your friends should have? Because for me, an important aspect of friendship means that you have my back. Even when shit hits the fan, it means that I can trust you and you're going to have my back. But how many of our so-called friends are there for us when shit hits the fan? How many of our so-called friends will be there for us no matter what happens? How many of our friends are there to help us, pick us back up when shit goes down, rather than the ones who tear us down and say that we're crazy or we're stupid or we're, whatever it is that they say? Because when we are surrounding ourselves with people who do not lift us up, then are those people really your friends? But it seems that nowadays having lots of friends is another social status that you can tick off your list. Oh, I'm married, I have kids, I have the perfect job, I have so many friends. But even though you've ticked all those things off your list, are you genuinely happy in your relationship, in your job, in your marriage, in your friendship? Are you genuinely happy? Are you genuinely, authentically being you? Are you authentically living from a place of heart and love? Or are you just ticking things off the list so you can say to society, hey, look, we're the same. We're married and we have kids and we've done all the things that we were told to do. But are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Are you where you wished that you could be? Are you waking up every day and say, hey, I love my life. I am so overjoyed with my life. I am living the life of my dreams. How many of you can say that? Well, start by choosing the company that you keep, because the energy, you know, everything is about energy. And just like, every single person is their own radio station. And when we come close to each other, we start to pick up their frequencies. We start to pick up their radio station. And it's kind of like when you put a phone near a TV and when you're getting a message, it starts having that distortion. So when you're not on the same frequency, you start to distort each other's frequency. So are your friends and the people you surround yourself with, are they on the same frequency as you? Because if they're not, then they're distorting your frequency and they're taking you away from the blessings that you are working so hard to call in. And last but not least, become a clear channel. Yes, become a clear channel for the divine. There are so many star beings. There is so much information that is coming from the higher realms that is wanting to be anchored into this world. But the only way that it can be anchored is if we express it. Just like me, I am a channel. I am here to share the messages that the collective needs to hear in order to move through their ascension journey. And so when we open ourselves up to receive the information from the higher realms, we start to receive information that is not privy to the people who are not tuned into that frequency. We're not tuning into the right frequency because we're being distorted by everyone and everything. This is no longer a time of being outwards. We are all being asked to go inwards. The process of ascension, the process of awakening is a very internal individual journey. But the reason that we talk about the Great Awakening And the fact that many people are waking up is because many individual people are waking up. And so they are tuning into the frequencies of a higher dimension, and they are bringing that information through. And remember here when we said, sorry, yes, give me a second. So the star bathing card, where it was talking about light body, crystal grid, transmission activation. Yes, there are light activations, transmissions that are coming in from the crystal grid. And because we have been living under a dome, we have been living under a firmament. This is even spoken about in the Bible. You know, they say that we went to the moon, but anyways, those are stories for other day. But we have been living under a protective dome because the principalities and the entities and the energies that have been governing this world, that have been of darkness, in order for them not to reach up into the heavens, we had to be under spiritual quarantine. But the more that we rise in vibration, the more that quarantine is coming down, because it is saying that we are safe to now once again be interacting with the star beings, so that we are no longer a threat. Because if we are not of a high level enough consciousness, then we are the ones who pose threat to the beings around us. We're being taught to fear these star beings and to fear these energies that are coming in, yet they were the ones fearing us because we were living in such low vibration. We were living in such low frequencies that we were posing danger to them. And this is why God and the angels haven't been here to assist us, because we were in such low vibration. We were in this spiritual quarantine. And the way that we can now reconnect with God and reconnect with the divine and reconnect with the world of spirit is by reconnecting with that inside of us. And the more that we reconnect with that inside of us, and the first way we can do that is by honoring our health. Start making your health your mission. Set the intention to get the best health that you have ever been able to have. And by setting that as your personal mission, whether this is improving your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health, you will start to experience the world through a very different lens. So I want to pull a few fairy cards here to close out this message. Just give me a second here. Let's see if another one pops out. And the card we have here is ask for help. Angels are celestial beings who protect everyone. And the fairies say now is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. Oh my God, what a beautiful way. Help is available to you. But the only way for you to receive the help is to elevate in consciousness and to take action and to open yourself up to connect with the angelic realm and to connect with the beings from higher dimensions. The only way, ask and you shall receive. So yes, beautiful souls, ask and you shall receive. And so this is where we close this reading, beautiful souls. If you have resonated with this message, I ask that you please like, share the video with people who you feel might benefit from this message, and just stay grounded. This journey is not always easy, but know that there are many of us on this journey and we are all in it together. I send you love and light, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye for now.